Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about a tank, the T-49A. Now this was a tank that came out years ago in a special event that Wargaming put on, basically where I believe it was for a week. The T-49A was in the game, and this tank just destroyed the matchmaking. I mean, just absolutely destroyed the game. I mean, this tank is absolutely broken, and it was just flinging missiles around all the time, ammo racking everyone. And we'll get into that, into what this tank does in a minute here. But basically, this tank has resurfaced and has the possibility of coming back, I believe. And I would assume, obviously, for an event like how they had before or whatever, you know, where maybe for like a week you can use the T-49A. Now, either that or it's going to do something like the Sheridan missile where you can only play in special game modes. So we'll have to see how this tank is coming back. I don't think anything is confirmed currently how it will be coming back, but it has reappeared and should be, again, not 100% confirmed, should be coming back to the game, which would be absolutely crazy. This tank has been out of the game for a long time. Now, this was the first missile tank that went into World of Tanks Blitz, and we all know how that ended last time, of course, with the removal of the Sheridan missile mechanism, and, you know, it was put into the Sheridan missile, which is, you know, now only available in special game modes. So, you know, it's still around. You can have some fun in it if you had it originally, but there's no way currently to get it. So those are my kind of like two speculations as to how the T-49A will be coming back, either through an event or either it's going to be a collectible tank, or not a collectible tank given to either certain people, or you can earn it maybe possibly, or it's just given out. We will have to wait and see how this will, how this will be coming into the game. But yeah, let's talk about the tank itself here for a little, because this tank is legendary. This tank is a Tier 7 light tank, which was the original tier of the T-49, I believe, before all those tiers got kind of shifted around. The HP of the tank is 1,000. Of course, this is a Tier 7 light tank. Only about 2,000 DPM, a very nice 185 millimeters of penetration. And of course, for Tier 7, a massive 560 alpha, same as the T-49. And one more thing, that this is what made the T-49A so incredibly broken, besides the fact that it was, you know, missiles. 203 crew damage. That is massive. This tank can ammo rack. I believe it's like a 1 in 3 chance of ammo racking another tank. This tank is almost guaranteed every battle to get an ammo rack. It's absolutely crazy. This does insane module damage. And if you come across another small light tank, you basically just 100% ammo rack chance. It's absolutely ridiculous. You guys can go back and watch videos of the T-49A back in its prime when it was out. It's just a crazy tank and a lot of fun to look at. And I'm actually super hyped for this, because if this came back to the game, it would be really cool, I think. Obviously, I don't want this tank coming back permanently. That would ruin the matchmaking of Tier 7, Tier 6, and Tier 8. I mean, that would absolutely ruin it. But if this tank does come back for an week, an event, or for game modes, I would absolutely love that. I think that would be fantastic and a really cool thing for Wargaming to do. So now we move on to some other statistics here. It has a 16.84 second reload time for 540 alpha, of course. Now, the accuracy on this tank doesn't really exist because, again, it's a missile tank. Now, there are a little bit different missile it's a little bit of a different missile mechanics for this tank than the current missile tanks, so I would assume Wargaming will update it to where that it's how the missiles are controlled now rather than how they were back then. So I would assume that, which, you know, kind of takes away a little from the fun of how the T-49A was originally, because I believe you could have multiple missiles in the air sometimes. Like, you just shot them straight up into the sky and then like auto-locked, and they just nuke down from the sky to people behind rocks and just ammo rack them. You know, it was pretty crazy stuff. So probably won't have that again, because of course Wargaming has updated the missile mechanism, but you know, you never know. They could bring back the old one, because they're like, you know, this is only coming around for, you know, a week or something like that, and they're like, let's put some nostalgia in this. So it has a 9.5 degrees of gun depression on this tank, even though that doesn't really matter, of course, because you have missiles. Gun depression doesn't matter too much when you have missiles. And the speed of this tank is 62 kilometers an hour forwards and 24 in the reverse. So honestly, it isn't the fastest light tank going forwards. Honestly, it isn't the fastest light tank, but it is very quick in reverse, so that's helpful. But, you know, you really don't need the speed too much because, of course, you are a T-49A. You have missiles, and you just nuke missiles down from the sky. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the T-49A. I'm not even going to go over the armor profile because it is absolute paper. You all know the T-49A's armor profile of absolutely nothing. So, you know, we're not going to worry about that too much. But yeah, this tank, I mean, it's just a very old tank. I mean, I believe it was 4 years ago now when this tank was out. Which is a long time for a game, and a long time for a game. That's, what was that, 2017 or so? Which, crazy to think that was 4 years ago now. Anyway, but yeah, this tank was out, again, like I said, back then, and it was, I believe it was out for, like, an event. It was something special. It didn't stay in the game for very long. You can, I believe, still see it when you click on someone's profile, you can, I believe, still see if they have the T-49A, but you can't see, you know, like, they can't play it. I think the tank is removed and stuff. It just shows that they have battles in it and stuff, so that's just a fun little fact here. But yeah, if they were going to implement this tank into the game, like I said at the beginning of the video, I doubt it's going to be permanent. I really don't think Wargaming is going to do something like that, especially after what happened with, like, all the Sheridan and stuff. It's definitely not going to happen. So, you know, we don't have to worry about that ruining the game at all. I expect it to be either an event, like I said, or a collectible tank only for game modes, which honestly is better that way. We don't want to ruin the game's matchmaking. Tier 7 is messed up enough down there with all the Smasher, Annihilator, all those super OP premium tanks that just ruin the matchmaking for anyone new to the game trying to work up the tiers. Yeah, they don't need a missile-flinging tank running around them. That would be too much. So yeah, I am really hyped for this. I believe a possible date for this, I'm not 100% sure, is somewhat time in March it was. I remember seeing something from March. I can't, you know, confirm that or not. I'm not sure if that's 100% true or not, if it is going to be coming in March, but I would assume sometime next year, probably in the spring of next year. And I don't think we'll see this tank on testing though, because, you know, like I said, it's a missile tank. I don't think Wargaming is going to put this tank out on testing. Obviously, it's already been tested before. They'll probably test it, you know, on private servers and stuff, with just to make sure the missiles work or something like that. But yeah, I am super hyped for this tank potentially coming back to the game. Let me know your thoughts on the T-49A coming back to the game, and also let me know if you were around in the game or if you ever played the T-49A before, because I'm super sad that I never got to play the T-49A. I thought it was such a cool tank for the longest time. And wow, that was a horrible voice crack right there. Jeez. I always thought it was the coolest tank for a long time and wanted to play it. So if it does come back, I will be very excited to be able to finally play this tank. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.